On today's episode of Fix It Your Motherfucker Self, we got a 2017 Nissan Pathfinder. Yeah, got to do old tune-up on the old girl. So we're going to holler at y'all in a minute. First, what you want to do is disconnect the battery, because we got a lot of shit we got to take off. So we're going to holler at y'all as a 10mm and get on down. Forgot to mention we take off that cover that goes right here, but you know, just a few press clips that sits on those, and that's easy. Now, we got to take off this air dam. Take out a 10mm there, 10mm there. Holler at y'all in a minute. Then we're going to start with the front, because the front is easy. You know, you got this little cover right here for the fuel pump. You're going to get that 10mm there and all the rest of them, and take those take these off. And then you get to the spark plugs. Now, the back is a whole different story. So we're just going to knock out the front first. So, holler at y'all in a minute. Being that this is a Nissan, we can't use a regular spark plug sight. It's 14mm. You know, Nissan's stupid like that. So we're going to holler at y'all in a minute. All right. Got a lot of shit you got to take off here. But if you see all this, you don't have to take this off. Just I got to unplug connectors, because it'll go with the intake. And this one right here, just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There we go. Shit. And you will have to probably take this out. I think you just get it right there with that bolt right there. And let's see here. I think that might be it. You want to move the air box, all that good shit. This bracket that the reservoir's got to sit on got to come out. And this motherfucker right here's got to come out. But, yeah, let's get this air box out first, and I'll show y'all that in a minute. Of course, you know you got to get that off and unplug the master air sensor. And then, back in a minute. All right, I figured I'd take that off first. See those two studs right there? There's one right there. The other one is right. Oh shit, I can't see. Oh, there you go, right there. Those are 10mm stud, you know, wouldn't know what the fuck I'm saying. Hell, I can't think right now. Take those out, move that shit out the goddamn way. You might want to plug that so it give a little freedom. And then move that over here to the side over here. So we're gonna have a y'all in a minute. As you see, it swings over like so. Then you can disconnect that. I already disconnected these two hoses, so we can get that out here. And disconnect this clamp and get this bitch up out here. I'll y'all in a minute. Now you're gonna get a 5mm hex to take out the throttle body. Yeah, gotta let that hang that out. Just let it hang, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna holler at y'all in a minute. See this bracket? It goes on those studs right there. And the computer right there goes onto the bracket. So we're just gonna move that up there out the way. Yeah. Now we're almost to the point where disconnect these bolts. And all I've been using is 10mm. So in case y'all was wondering, that's pretty much what it is, 10mm bolt. So I'll tell you in a minute. Now you pretty much almost got this thing out. You got that last hose is connected to this motherfucker, and then pretty much got it out here. So I'll tell you in a minute. Now what you want to do is stick fucking paper towels in the intake holes, because if you don't, and you drop something down in there, it's a bad day for every fucking body. So yeah, we got the intake off. It's right there. Now we got to get to the back spark plugs. Yeah, so we'll holler at y'all in a minute. Okay, got all the coils back on. Got the coils back on and the spark plugs changed out. Now, here's a tip. Put that hose on the back of that, because, and they go right here. The bottom goes right there, you know, and the top one goes right there. That way, before you get this all the way set in, because it's a lot easier to get to clamps when you don't have it already set on. So, remove the paper towels. Now we're ready to go and do what we need to do. So we're going to holler at y'all in a minute. What you want to do is get all the bolts started by hand first. Then, tighten everything up. Because there ain't nothing worse than something being out of line and you got to try to fix this shit rethread a damn hole. So, I'll y'all in a minute. As y'all can see, Humpty Dumpty's back together again. All that's left to do now, hook that motherfucker back up. So we're gonna holler at y'all in a minute. Well, the moment of truth, y'all. Humpty Dumpty's back together again. Let's go see what she do. Well, I forgot. We have to keypad thing. See here. Well, it's not remote start. So let's go inside and try it. I thought it was remote start, but it's not. So let's see. Which one? All right. Yeah. Let's see. Push start though. Well, she sounded a lot better than she did before we started this little journey. I mean, a lot better. So, we're gonna holler at y'all in a minute. Well, it sound like new money, goddammit. You hear me? So, we're gonna take the old girl for a test drive, see how she do on the road. I'll try in a minute. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this episode of Fix It Your Motherfucking Self on this 2017 Nissan Pathfinder. Till next time, y'all be careful out in these streets.